The big news that came out of the New Saints yesterday was that the club parted ways with Scott Ruscoe and Steve Evans. Now, I have got nothing to say about that. It's not appropriate to comment on that at all. In fact, I don't want to comment on it or say anything at all. However, there are a couple of areas that I would like to talk about as far as Scotty and Evo are concerned. First of all, the working relationship. Since they took over at the club almost 4 years ago now, the working relationship that I've had with both of them has been excellent. And it's true to say that in all of those years, there have been no issues at all. Obviously, I've interviewed Scott more than Evo because he's the manager. That's the nature of the game. And win, lose or draw, Scott has always made himself available after the game for an interview. And especially with the defeats, because I know people who work in football media and the manager will keep them waiting intentionally for an hour sometimes, even though it's not the media's fault that the club lost or the team lost that day. They take it out on them. They don't want to talk to them. But Scotty always would make himself available for an interview. And likewise, Evo, although not the interviews that I've done with Scott and the press conferences, nevertheless, always working relationship, excellent, 10 out of 10. However, the second area that I would like to comment on is the fact that in football, like life, friendships are important, and often friendships are true and far between. And I would consider both of them to be not only working colleagues, as it were, during the last few years, but also, more importantly, beyond that, friends as well. I was listening to an English manager, the top of the game, the very top, talking about friendships and football. And he said, I've probably got, and he's an older man, and he said, I've probably got the number of friends in football that you can count on one hand, because football is brutal. Anybody that knows the game, works in the game, has been around it, it is very, very competitive. And on that score, both of them I would most certainly count as friends, and it's a pleasure to have worked with them, but also, more importantly, to be friends. I've got memorabilia behind me, and that memorabilia, if you follow my blog entries on a regular basis, you will know comes from my own personal journey in football. So I've got boxes of stuff, things on the wall. I don't go out on eBay and bid for them or go to auctions and get them that way. Although there's nothing wrong with that, there's something more personal about the items that I've got. They've come my way because of my own journey in the beautiful game. And that collection that I have, which I treasure so much, so personal, so much personal value and memory attached. There are so many of those items in there that have come the way of Scotty and Evo. In fact, just recently, the last batch of memorabilia items that I logged and talked about came courtesy of Steve Evans's Wales career. There was a big bag of his training kit when he was with Wales, made 7 appearances for the country. Also the team sheet when he made his debut. Other things such as programs that he had pre-signed for me. Likewise, Scotty, there's a shirt. You can just about see that red shirt there. That's Scott's shirt when he played for Wales, the semi-pro situation that he played there, and that's the shirt that he wore. Well, actually, I look at it, it's not. It's Bodurov from Bulgaria. I saw the red, but you get the drift. Scotty's is just above that. But so many things behind me. I've actually got medals. I've got 2 of these from last season, JD Cymru Premier. Got one from Scott, one from Evo. Both of them gave me their medals at the end of the season, and well, quite a few on there from Scott. And that one in particular, the Welsh Cup, is my favourite competition. So that's great to have. Personal memories. Yes, the working relationship is good. That's nice. Of course it is. It makes it so much easier when you can work well with people. But more importantly for me, it's about friendships. And friendships continue. They remain beyond whether you work together or not, where you are geographically, how far removed from each other, or how close you are. You never know where life takes you. Those are the important things. Friendships, and long may they, and they will, continue.